Good morning, welcome. It's a wonderful and bright new day, the start of another week, and it's great to have you on the show this morning. It's Monday, the 23rd of January, 2023, and oh my, I hope you are getting set for your day. My name is Mike Mesikeno. This is Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome as we bring a splash of sunshine into your morning and get you started for the day. Well, how have you been so far? Hope you've been good. How's 2023 been so far? Well, it's almost the last week. Next week is still January, but next week we'll make it February and we'll be done with the 64 days in January. I hope you've been having a wonderful time. Well, it's great to have you once again. Thank you for joining us on the show. Now, remember that you can be a part of this show. Hit us up online. It's at tvcentertainment.tv. That's our website where you can stream. You can also stream on Facebook. And then on GOTV, it's at channel 27. And then terrestrial is the ultra high frequency. The band is 49. Now, when you want to interact with us on social media, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC so that your tweets can gain visibility and, of course, we can engage with you. It's a Monday morning and you know how it is. Let's get the week started. Let's show you what we have for you on the show. Now, this morning we'll kick off with motivation. Should we fight depression and anxiety? We have Monica Noka joining us to answer that question this morning. Who wants to be a millionaire? Now, you know how we do it on Monday. We take a highlight of the show over the weekend and take a look at what happened and talk about it. And we have a musical performance takes. A musical artist who dropped his debut EP, Distance, last year. Pardon me for that. Ty Keys, that's the name. Now, he will be here to give us a performance this Monday morning. Ty Keys on the beats. And then on SME, we have David Siweku, who is the CEO of Grace Solar Limited, a clean tech company offering sustainable solar power solutions. Welcome to the news. My name is Mike Mesikeno. The Kogi State All Progressives Congress Campaign Council has refuted a story published on the front page of a Sunday Tribune that Governor Yahaya Bello has withdrawn support for the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. In a statement issued by the Director of Media and Publicity, Kogi State APC Council, Kingsley Fanwo, the party describes the report as absolute falsehood and a concoction born out of malice. According to him, the publication was mischievous and was out to create distrust in the party to disparage the commitment of the governor to the success of the APC in the presidential election. He boasted that Governor Yahaya Bello has effectively mobilized people of the state to deliver not less than 95% of the votes to the presidential candidate of the APC. Wife of the Kebbi State Governor, who is also the national coordinator on Northwest APC Campaign Council Women Wing, Zainab Bagudu, has flagged off the Tinubu-Shatima campaign in Argungu area of the state. Mrs. Bagudu, during the flag-off, listed various achievements under the administration of APC in the state, while calling on women to come out en masse to support the ruling party. Also, the Director General of the Tinubu-Shatima Campaign Council Women Wing Kebbi State, Zara Okalgo, expresses confidence in the party's victory at all levels. In his address, the Kebbi State Governor, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, calls on women to sustain the policy of the ruling party in the state by voting APC at all levels. Then on to foreign news. A gunman is still at large after killing at least 10 people near Los Angeles in one of California's deadliest mass shootings. Another 10 people were wounded and some are in critical condition. The shooting in Monterey Park, which has a large Asian population, happened shortly after thousands of people had gathered for a Lunar New Year festival. The gunman opened fire on a busy dance studio in the downtown area of the city. There's a standoff in Torrance, California, more than 12 hours after a deadly shooting in the park. Armed officers are surrounding a white van and police say there is an active incident in the area. That's it on the news for this hour. We'll take a short recess. Stay with us. We will return with the headline to the dailies.
An interesting fitness session there. Did you see MM somewhere in the background? Kind of miss her. We'll see her soon. Going to take a quick look at what's happening on the headlines in the dailies this morning. My name is Titilayo Oniso. And of course, today is Monday, the 23rd of January, and it's 2023. On the cover of the Daily Trust, we have this headline. It says here, high costs hinder consumers' access to electricity meters. Only 38% of 12.6 million registered customers have meters. We were given second-hand meters with accumulated bills, it says. Experts push for free meters, and NERC says soon. Beneath the masthead there, it says flight delays, theft top list as aviation ranks third in FCCPC 2022 complaints. 148 passengers unhurt as Itakwe Warri train derails. And 20th Daily Trust Dialogue experts to analyze presidential candidates' promises. In the photo story there, the disheartening view of motorists queues at a fuel station as scarcity worsens in parts of the Federal Capital Territory as at yesterday. And diphtheria death toll hits 34. Kano records 100 infections. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. We have with us the Punch newspaper as well. It says here, banks battle new Naira shortage ahead deadline. Page 27 has more info. It says Lagos FCT states ATMs dispense old notes as January 31st deadline nears. CBN begins currency swap for rural unbanked Nigerians. And stakeholders foresee extension. Customers want CBN to shift ground. Beside the masthead there, it says sacked UI female lecturer petitions Senate, VC summoned. Top left, PSC asks a federal government to stop 10,000 constables' salaries. Petrol may hit 800 naira per litre on subsidy removal, according to marketers. Interest rate hike likely as MPC meets today. And we have the photo story there of the derailed train and the rails there on the right and left of the screen. Passengers stranded in forest as Warri Itakwe train derails. MQ Abiola's wife sues IG, demands 100 billion naira. And the diphtheria spreads to Lagos. NCDC monitors Osun and Yobe. And that's what we have on the cover of the Punch. We also have the Nation newspaper here. It says, millions of Nigerians can't be wrong. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president. It also says, top left, Kogi governor, my support for Tinubu unshaken, will win by landslide, says Bello. Buhari to inaugurate deep seaport rice mill in Lagos. Interest rate likely to go up as MPC meetings begin. And that's what we have on the cover of the Nation. And that's all we have time for when it comes to the headlines in the dailies for this morning. We're going to be taking a quick break, but we'll be back with more. Wow, it's a Monday already.
It is, I know, right?
So there's something that's always common during the weekends, which is weddings. When you mentioned what we wanted to talk about this morning, I felt, it actually did make sense to talk about the reason why some weddings actually don't happen.
Mm-hmm. And when we talk about weddings not happening, it can be a thing of, say, a month or two, where maybe they've been engaged for a while or they've done the introduction, it was called off. In this case, the wedding celebrations had begun since last Wednesday.
Okay.
And then on Friday, the wedding was called off. Why? Because the couple found out that they are both not related by blood, but both blood genotype AS. And that just turned everything upside down. They had to cancel their wedding, and everything just went awry. And so many people were wondering, why they hadn't had the test done. Because it's more or less a normal thing now.
Yeah.
Like when you start dating, even one of the first date questions, how are you doing?
What's
your favorite food?
Are you sure?
What's your blood group? So that we don't go too far in the love before we
wow,
realize
Mary, that's deep.
what is happening.
You can't be asking me, or I can't be asking you of a genotype, even on the third or fourth date.
So when will you ask?
No.
When
But
you
the
finish
conversation
falling in
can
love?
come up based on maybe past relationships. So if we talk about past relationships during a first date. Oh, I used to date this particular guy. So what went wrong? Well, I discovered he was.
Would you be talking
AS.
about what went wrong in
What
a past
went-
relationship
Why
on a
not?
first date? No, it's wrong.
Really?
Talk about yes. Very
Okay.
wrong. You said first date.
Okay, first date. Okay,
Get to
maybe-
know,
maybe
enjoy.
not first date.
Maybe
second.
how about you? Do you want to talk about what happened in your past date?
Wow.
But anyways,
I will
Mike,
talk
first of
about
all-
it first date.
First
What's
of
your
all,
blood group?
you are scary
And
now.
genotype.
It's not you again.
Okay, so
Mario.
in the end, there has to be something different about how we're taking this relationship thing now. It can't be business as usual. There's just too many risks. Think about all the money that's been spent, all the people that probably traveled from outside the country for that wedding, all the things that happened, the families that are probably so distraught and wondering, what to do next. So in order to avoid things like that, maybe the conversation should be a little bit deeper than what movies do you like? What's your favorite food?
Exactly.
Times have
Like,
changed.
save your heart.
Exactly.
Instead of falling in love. I know there's love at
There are a
first
lot
sight,
of
but
other
instead of
reasons.
So
allowing
the issue,
yourself go that deep-
the issue is not first date now. The issue is genotype and all that. And first of all, I would say if they were going to find out if they were going to maintain, if they were going to maintain that ignorance, then they could have maintained until after the wedding.
After the
I don't know why they maintained the ignorance up until 2 days to the wedding, like
The
you
day
said.
before the wedding.
The day before the wedding.
In fact, they
It
had
was all
started the
too
wedding
much.
preparation. It was
But
towards the last right.
exactly. But like I would always say, an SS can marry an SS.
It's
When they talk
just
about compatibility
a choice,
and all that,
yeah.
an SS can marry an SS. But the thing is that you don't plan to have kids.
Exactly.
You can adopt.
Exactly.
So when people talk about compatibility, we are going into a place where you have a number of married couples who say they don't want to have kids, and that is okay. They want to live by themselves. We've seen the number of times.
Yeah.
So when people talk about compatibility and say, oh, this cannot marry, this can marry this, you're thinking of kids. Not everybody wants kids.
Exactly.
And you can still stay with the love of your life and decide to adopt.
Yes.
So I feel it's something, if I love somebody so much, and I am, by the way, I'm AA, by the way, so blood
Mike
of Valeria.
is trying to tell us how
Blood,
eligible
we are the
is
pure
here.
blood of Valeria.
Yeah,
Mike.
Let me hear one.
We're proud.
Are you AS?
But anyway, so
okay.
I'm not going to be talking
So
about
when
my
you are-
blood group on air.
well, you're generous. So, but I would say that if you find love of your life and both of you are SS, and that will make you, even as an SS, you shouldn't be scared of bringing a kid into this world. You can stay, just decide to adopt. That's
you know
it.
something
but
funny?
there are risks. There are risks because even no matter how much contraception you use, there's always that 1.1%.
What's
Abi?
risk?
Yes,
When
risk
you
of
decide to adopt, maybe one person should have
So-
a vasectomy or something.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
even go there.
Okay,
yes,
so
because you cannot have that kind of thing and expect to bring a kid that will come in and suffer.
I think at this point, I also need to point out certain things. We mentioned blood group and genotype. So for blood group, we have A, B, we have AB, and we have O. Then
The
we have
O-
positive and
O
negative.
plus and negative.
But many people don't even realize that the rhesus negative for some actually poses problems.
It does. It does.
As a
It
matter
does.
of fact,
It does.
some women who have continuous miscarriages,
It does.
it's not because of, say, maybe they've had multiple abortions or stuff in
Yeah,
the past.
it's not.
It's because of the rhesus negative.
True.
It fights the babies
So maybe what
in
we
their
should just do
wombs.
is that when we go on a social media page, let all of us just drop our genotype and blood group so that let's just know
Yeah.
from the beginning. That's just negative.
See this one?
So even, even as far back as when they started giving dog tags to soldiers going to war, the blood group was there,
Yes, it has
so
to be.
so it's not something to
Because
be
of the
hidden.
nation, yeah.
It's not something, but that issue of risking getting pregnant, he mentioned vasectomy. Now, how many men are
be willing?
mature enough or willing to have a mastectomy?
You are
How many?
SS. Though, yeah, it's not
But
a
it's
willing
not
doesn't come
only
in.
SS, so
It's not.
Yeah,
see,
even
we have
AS.
AA.
That's what I'm saying.
We have AS. Those are the normal ones. Then
Yeah.
there's a rare one nobody talks about. There's AC.
Not nobody.
And then there's
There are
there's
people that talk about- you're
SS
talking
and
about
there's
it now.
SC.
Yeah,
So
what I'm
it's
saying now.
possible for you as an AC to marry AS and end up with an SC child. And the problem is many laboratories in Nigeria always give AC. So you end up as an AC person doing testing like 10 places, only one place will give you AC, other places will give you AA. And that's
Goodness
the
me.
problem. So imagine you think, oh, I'm AA, I get married to AS. You guys have SC, sickle cell still. So
Well-
it's actually a wide problem.
There's AA that is
But
the pure
I
blood.
believe it is part of the conversation now. Once
is other
marriage
blood.
is on the table, a lot of churches, pastors, marriage counselors advise you do a blood check to check for all sorts of things, not just
Beyond your
genotype, all
genotype.
sorts of things before jumping the broom.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point,
All right, let's take a break. Stay with us. We will be right back. Pure blood.
Welcome to the kitchen. It's time to get cooking. Today's breakfast will be by Chef Flora. Great to have you in the studio with us today.
Welcome.
So what are we having for breakfast?
So we are having fish in the broccoli and cauliflower sauce.
Okay, fish in the broccoli and cauliflower sauce.
No, I said fish in the broccoli and cauliflower sauce.
Fish and the broccoli and cauliflower sauce. Sounds like a mouthful. Okay, let's talk about the ingredients then. What are we making
Okay,
use
so
of?
here, right, this are the combination of the pepper mix I have here. And
Okay.
then I have...
Okay, so all of these are in
Yes,
there.
yeah,
Okay, so
that's
we'll
what
talk
we
about all of these. What are they?
okay, so we have fresh tomatoes.
Okay.
We have
Green pepper, green bell pepper.
Yes,
Okay.
bell pepper, green.
Onion.
We have onions.
Okay.
We have chili, butter, Scotch bell pepper,
bonnet, okay.
garlic, and we have the cauliflower.
Okay.
We have
Broccoli.
broccoli.
Okay.
Then
All
we
right.
have mackerel,
Okay.
olive oil,
Okay.
seasoning cubes, curry, bay leaf, and those are the basic ingredients for this
In here,
sauce.
the
In here,
broccoli and cauliflower.
Yes, it's already. I see it here. It's already steamed,
Okay.
and you know. In a
How did you
good
steam it?
smell.
You just put it in what?
No, you just
Okay.
put it in a warm water with
Okay.
salt, and
Okay.
then you leave it there for like 2 minutes,
Okay.
and then you wash
More
it
like
off.
blanching, but instead with warm water.
Yes,
Okay.
just wash it, and here we have.
Okay.
Then,
So this fish, this mackerel, what's the local name for it?
It's called kote.
Cote, yes. So if you've always wondered why they write mackerel, because you see some, they'll write mackerel, they'll write cote. So I'm always wondering that, is it that there's a different type of cote or a different type of mackerel? So
No,
I'm glad
it's,
Chef Flora has
Actually,
clarified that.
the kote is I think maybe a local name, but mackerel is a collective name for the this type of fish, like Titus comes under this, tuna comes under this.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
under
All right,
this
so
one.
let's get started then. What's the process? Tell me about it. What do
Okay,
we
the
do?
first thing we're going to do is to warm the oil with our
Okay.
onions,
Okay,
and then put in the pepper mix,
okay,
then we fry for some time.
okay,
Put in the bay leaf,
okay.
curry, and then for
That's
some
it.
minutes, then we come back.
So why did
Then
you
after,
boil this fish? Couldn't it have been cooked with the pepper?
that's what I'm doing here.
But this looks cooked
It's
already.
already
It's been boiled.
yes, it's boiled.
So that's what I'm asking.
What
Why
we do
is it
is to prepare
prep everything?
just for this.
Okay, so as to hasten the
Hasten the
process. Now, bay
Yes,
leaf.
sir.
Bay leaf in soups and stews. So when people hear bay leaf, the first thing that comes to their mind is jollof rice, fried rice. But then using it for stews and soups, what benefit is it? How does it improve?
Why we use bay
the-
leaves more in most food ingredients is because it has a health benefit generally, apart from the flavor. You know, so a lot of people use it for the flavor, but I use it because of the benefit that we get from it.
Okay, so it's mainly for the health benefits. So
Yes,
in what
mainly
other
for
ways
the
can we use bay leaf?
Bay
So
leaf,
apart from
you can-
jollof rice and
You can use it in any stew,
any stew?
Yes.
Can you put it in soups as well?
of course.
Like a fori roll, egusi. That's what I wanted to know.
No.
But can you put it in pepper
Yes,
soup?
Oh, I've not used it in pepper soup
I think
before,
I'll try
but
it.
you can
I
try
think
it.
I'll try it.
That's
I
a
think I'll try
real
it.
good health benefit. Like the cod flour, I would like to talk more about it.
Okay.
It's a very, very fantastic vegetable.
Okay.
It helps weight loss, it helps the memory, and it has a good fiber in it, which can fight against phyto like cancer and all those stuff, so terminal diseases. So it's always good to have them, in some of the, if you can eat it regularly, we enjoy the nutrients in it.
Okay, so I believe at this point you have to cut up the onions.
Yes.
right? Okay, so let me get you the chopping board and then the knife as well. So you can cut it up and we can start cooking, because I'm sure everyone is looking forward to cooking for this morning. Okay. Okay,
Thank you.
so there we go. Let's get started. All right. So are we going to be chopping it up or slicing it?
Now we slice it a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Just to give it the oil, the flavor,
Okay.
the onion flavor, and also to warm it.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
always good to put.
So what's your own trick for cutting onions? Because I feel like everyone has their own trick.
I like to cut my onions just like this, like into tiny cubes. I like it. We have some people that don't so much like onions.
Yes.
So sometimes you have to make it very,
Very little so that it's
yes,
not
that they don't
distinct
even
in the
observe it.
soup.
Most especially the children, they don't like onions as such. So you can make it. In fact, you can even blend it. Just make it very, very invisible for them to.
All right. Let's. Okay.
So we have to
Let's start with the process. Okay. All right. So we'll pour the oil first, as you said, and you put the onions.
So afterwards.
Okay.
If I can.
Get hot. Okay. So while we wait for the pan to heat up, and then of course we start the cooking process, it's time for us to get some motivation, and Mike is on standby for that.
Yes, I am. I wanted you guys to get started so that you don't waste time with that, Mary. But the motivation today, the question or the topic is, should we fight depression and anxiety? That's quite an interesting question. I feel like, why shouldn't we? Well, Monica Noka is here to answer that question. It is great to have you. Good morning.
Excellent morning, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm good. So that's it. Let's get straight to it. It's a very interesting, should we fight it? Shouldn't we? Why should we? Or why is that an option, by the way, not to, depression and anxiety is something, are what people would say are negative, negative emotions and all of that, and we should fight them. That's what the normal person would say. So what are your thoughts on that?
All right, so the thing about depression and anxiety is that they are actually low thoughts that you have been in a habit of thinking for a long time, that it has condensed into your moods or your emotions over a period of time. Now, trying to fight them is what keeps them for longer in the first place, because what you resist or you fight persists.
Yes.
Yes.
So I've been fighting poverty and I now reach you. Okay, should I fight riches?
Okay, so let me
Explain what you mean by that. Maybe it's semantic, but what do you mean by fighting it? Maybe, what do you mean?
Okay, so the thing is, most times we try to interfere with these emotions that come into our awareness. All right, but the truth is, if you understand emotions and thoughts, they are like guests that come to your house, right? And guests are actually just temporary visitors. That means they are not going to be there for a long time. They just come and they go, right? Now, paying attention to them will keep them there for longer. Paying attention to them will keep them lingering for longer than you want or you would like them to be.
So how would you
So
recommend?
also ignoring them, right, would also keep them there for longer, right? And some people, because they feel they are not able to fight depression, it even worsens or aggravates their case because they feel really weak and they are unable to open up or accept where they are, and so they can't speak to anyone about it. That's why sometimes you just hear someone who has a wife and the wife is not even aware he's depressed, just commit suicide, right? Because they can't open up and they feel ashamed, guilty, and all of that. So the best way to handle this is actually to embrace it. Yes, embrace it, because the truth is, like I said, They are temporary visitors, right? In your awareness, every day, you know, we see clouds come out in the sky, right? Some of them are dark, some of them are brighter. No cloud stays there, right, for the entire day or 2 days, 3 days, you know. They just come and go, and that's exactly the same way emotions are.
Okay.
Right?
So
But-
how when you say, so what exactly, when you say embrace them, what do you do? Because you said you don't ignore them and don't fight them. So what does it mean to embrace them? Really?
So what I really mean by embracing is observe them, right? Observe them with compassion. Don't interfere. The fighting, right, actually interferes with the emotion, right? Or if you also ignore it, you know, it's like telling you that I'm going to ignore you. But when I'm trying to ignore you,
and I'm always there.
and you're here, I'm trying my best to ignore you. That means I know you're there, and every time I think about ignoring you, I'm thinking about you, so I'm still interfering. All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I get the idea.
Yeah. So
you're
what
saying.
you want to do in such a scenario is to actually acknowledge that it's there,
Okay.
observe it with compassion on yourself, right? And then meet it with curiosity.
When you say observe with compassion, what's the action you take to observe with compassion? So, for instance, I have a thought of,
Okay.
let's say financial, you know, my finances, or maybe, okay, I mean, love is cliche, but let's say finances. I don't have money for something, and I feel very bad about it. I'm unable to go out and work out. How do I observe that situation? I don't have money at the moment. How do I observe it with compassion at that point?
Okay, so just a one-off I don't have money, right, is it just comes and goes, right? So that doesn't really cause depression. It's when you start fighting and feeling really bad for too long, it becomes a habit, right? Guess what? It becomes your mood, and then over time becomes your attitude, and that attitude is when you really get into a situation that you feel like there is no hope for life, right? That's when depression comes in.
That's coming in.
Yes,
Okay.
but how you observe your thoughts is really by observing it, by understanding that, okay, so this is how I feel at the moment. And when you're observing it, you notice that the thoughts came from a place of lack and a place of, like victim thoughts, meaning that, okay, so the environment, I don't have money at this time, and the environment, I can't get it. I'm not trying to get it, so I feel like I'm a victim to the environment. But if you begin to think from a place of, I may not have the physical cash right now, but I can do more or do something that will add value in some way that will give me the physical cash, then you replace the thoughts of, I don't have to, what value can I add right now that will bring this money that, yes, that will exchange.
Your thoughts start becoming more constructive.
Exactly.
And, start moving away from those ways and thinking of how to create that thing that you need. Okay, that's something that people can learn from.
Exactly. So another thing that we should do when we feel depressed or feel anxious is to practice mindfulness, right?
How so?
Start meditation.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I had high functioning anxiety about 7-8 years ago. I really had high functioning anxiety when I used to be a business manager in the bank, and
the job comes with it. When you wrote that I can handle pressure, you don't know what you were going in for, yeah?
So the truth is, it can trigger that, but it is really not responsible for that, right?
Okay.
It can trigger it. What's responsible for it is the way I was reacting
to it, definitely.
Yes, to my environment, right, and the things that were happening. Because I wasn't responding. So your outlook to life can also trigger depression.
Yeah, mostly your response, because what happens is how you respond to it.
Exactly.
That that is the major factor there. So meditation, how do you meditate?
So
music, silence, how do you do it?
So I practice silence meditation.
Okay.
And meditation actually saved me. Sincerely, it was like my coach, like
So how do you do it?
self-coach. So
How do you meditate?
so I sit first thing in the morning,
Okay.
right? And I take deep breaths, and then I just do nothing, right? I try to.
What do you fix your mind on?
I fix my mind on my breath. So
Your breath?
Yes.
Okay.
So the thing about meditation is that a lot of people are trying to meditate, and that's where the challenge is. You don't try to meditate. You just sit and do nothing and observe your emotions, your thoughts, and then guess what? You begin to get fresh insights and a different perception, about life, and that's what really is the deal breaker. Was the deal breaker for me, right? Meditation.
Meditation.
So it was handling or curing the challenge I had at the root, not the fruits.
All right.
Because most things that we do actually just help make depression better, but they do not
Take
cure.
it out, they not cure
Yes.
it. Wonderful. That's one thing I will pick out today. If there's one thing you have to pick out, meditation and how to do it. That's what I was asking, but you said silence. I will try that out sometime. Thank you very much, Monica.
You're welcome.
We'll continue with this, but we have to go. We don't have time now.
Yes,
Thank
of
you.
course. You're welcome.
All right, that's it. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us when we get back. We'll still be in the kitchen, and of course, we're looking at the games over the weekend. Are you free? What exactly is the concept of freedom? Someone once said that freedom as a concept is harder to handle than being in bondage. Well, if you think about it, it actually can be so. It's World Freedom Day, also Bounty Day. I don't know how that works when a bounty hunter, but it might not be that kind of a bounty. But whichever way, we ensure that whatever we do our best to always strive for freedom as humans. Humanity, that has been the most constant struggle, and one that most of humanity is winning. Welcome, it's the second half of the show on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messican. We've had a wonderful first half, and we are geared up for the second half. There's a whole lot happening in the kitchen, of course. Mary has been on standby. Mary, come on. You guys left me to handle the show, so I was very focused on the show, so I don't really know what's happening in the kitchen. Can you please tell me?
What are you feeling like?
I don't
You left it to
understand.
handle the show.
Okay, stand up, because I
Can
gave
you
you time.
imagine?
Come here, come back. Don't talk. Let's get to highlights. Don't see me that proud. Nah, Mary, you tell us what's happening in the kitchen.
Okay, so breakfast is still cooking. The rice is boiling now. We didn't
There's
mention-
rice.
Yes, we didn't mention earlier that there's rice, but there's actually rice. So the rice is boiling, and then we'll show you the finishing part of the process of making the sauce when you come back to the kitchen again.
What's the protein in the sauce? What's the sauce?
It's
Fish.
mackerel.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking forward to
You're looking forward to
chicken breast and all of that.
Mike notoriously
Mike,
is not
what
the
is
biggest
your own with that
fan
part
of
Protein.
The healthiest protein out there is fish, Mike.
Oh God, titi. That's according
is.
to what your school.
There's
You
also
dynamite.
broccoli and cauliflower.
Okay, all right. But then, hey, come on, we have a wonderful show. You can watch us. It's on GOTV channel 27. And then you can hit us up terrestrial. It is the ultra high frequency of 49. That's the band. On social media, it's at TVC Connect across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And on the website, tvcentertainment.tv, where you can stream and also on the app. Now, let's get to what we have. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It was quite an interesting episode last night. I saw a bit of it. And we'll talk about all of that on the highlights of the show this morning. Ty Keys will be performing for us this morning. And I'm looking forward to that one. And for SME, we have David Siweku. He's the CEO of Grace Solar Limited, a clean tech company offering sustainable solar power solutions. Titi has always been talking about solar, but I don't know if her house runs on solar at this moment. Well, we'll talk about all of that on SME.
Yeah,
Question
finding
for you guys.
alternatives.
Yeah, alternatives, clean alternatives, but quite expensive. But we'll talk about it. I have a question for you guys, man.
Okay.
When last did you credit somebody that wasn't expecting it?
Oh, credit them.
When
Yes,
last?
yes.
Financially.
Yes, financial credit, credit alert.
No,
Bang.
I thought you meant crediting them on Instagram or
Titi,
Facebook
please.
for a
Titi, go.
photo they snap or
Actually,
something.
mine was my sister.
Your sister
So
is expecting
my
it.
sister, no, she
You don't
wasn't
get-
expecting it.
you don't
So
know.
the thing is this,
No, you don't understand.
I've been very rich lately.
Hold on, now, Mary. Hold on, wait, hold
And
on.
so
You know,
wait,
Oh my
you
goodness.
know, Iwalo Bere question,
No,
no,
hold
you
on.
need
No,
to
you
get
don't
your
get-
answer.
you don't get- wait,
You
wait.
said
I'm
my
coming,
sister
I'm
does
coming.
not count. She does.
No, you know why? What I mean is that it's your sister. Like when you send money to your sister, yes, she might not be expecting it as at that time, but it's not the first time you sent her money. Exactly. So she's your sister. There's expectation that for a sibling, you can help them out.
Okay,
What I mean is that to somebody that doesn't like, you understand, somebody you've never credited before.
Let God
I've
credit
done, I
you.
did
I
that,
don't
in,
feel
I did
sometimes-
that in December.
Titi normally has a drive. I know that
I
she
did that
normally
in
has a Christmas.
December.
Why am I saying so? You know, it might not be so much, but I receive. I mean, I give a lot, but I try.
Mike, don't receive
But
credit.
yes, and the feeling was so good
When you were giving or receiving?
when I was receiving.
Out there.
Because
All
I
of
give-
this
I
story.
give a lot. I try my
Mike,
best.
you are...
Wait. I'll talk about this for a very long time because you know I want to talk about this for two things. I want to make somebody feel like this also.
Oh.
That's one. But I have been doing it. Not like I've not been doing it. I did
Don't
try.
lie. Just
You understand?
continue.
But for, you know, I mean, for ladies, look at the guys in your life. Credit them.
Wow.
It's not every
Oh,
time.
obviously, he got it
Wow.
from his girlfriend.
No, it's not even a girl. It's from a guy. It's not even
so
What I'm
why?
saying is that it was totally unexpected.
Just go and check
I was
intentions,
so
Sha.
I was so thankful. No.
Why
This-
won't you be thankful?
this-
Today is
clean.
23rd.
These intentions were
Clean.
like they were transparent. They were cleaner than clean. There was no intention. Like that's my producer in my ears. Olamide, I'll ban you now. But yeah, but what I'm saying is this, yeah. I like the feeling. It's a good thing to give,
It is.
but it's also a good thing to receive. People should,
Yeah. So don't worry. We are all receiving greatness this year.
Amen.
Titi,
Oh,
Titi Mary.
Showers of blessings.
blessings.
Wait.
Showers of
Oh,
blessings.
Wait
Father,
now.
remember me financially. This is my year of financial
Yes, so
upliftment.
This is started
This
from
is
out
my
of
year
people. They
of
are saying, "Father,
blessing."
remember
Oh,
them."
Rain down
Lord.
on you, people.
Money in my account at the end of this
Let's-
year.
let's take a look at the
Father,
weather.
Father,
While Mary
remember
still
me.
praying.
Showers of blessing. Welcome again to the kitchen. We still have Chef Flora in the studio with us, and she's making breakfast. So, what did you call breakfast again?
It's fish in the broccoli and cauliflower sauce.
Okay,
It's a
so-
quick sauce and it's very, very delicious. Trust me.
Nutritious too. I like the
Very
nutritious
nutritious
part.
part,
Very,
yes.
very, very important. Okay, so that's the sauce. It's almost ready.
almost ready.
So run us through the process of what you do to arrive at this.
Okay, so what I did, the first thing I did, I warmed the oil with onions.
Okay.
And then I turned in the pepper mix.
Okay.
And I've fried for like 10 minutes now. So the next thing is to just add the mackerel into it and allow it to steam with the pepper mix.
So
Then-
the pepper mix just cooks for 10 minutes.
Yes.
Aha.
Yes,
Okay.
because it's a pepper mix that have been parboiled before.
Oh, it has been
Yes,
parboiled. Okay.
yes.
Because I know normally pepper
Yes.
mix ought to cook. Okay,
Yes. No,
so
this one
it's
is
been
already
parboiled.
parboiled.
How long
So
did
it
you
doesn't
parboil
need-
it for?
Just for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Depends,
So altogether,
yes.
15 minutes cook time for the
Yes.
pepper mix. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm going to put the mackerel now, the seasoning cubes, just a little salt, and then the vegetables goes in last.
Last, when
Yes.
everything is ready.
Yes.
Okay, so
just
we'll
goes
put in the
So,
mackerel now.
put in the mackerel. I'm going
So
to.
besides mackerel, is there anything else I can use?
Yes. Any fish of your choice.
Any fish of your choice
Yes.
can be used. Okay. So it's okay for you to want to do stuff you want. Besides fish, can I make use of chicken?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
you
so
can make use of shredded chicken, shredded beef, just
Okay.
as this. But the most important thing is just the vegetables.
experiments. Yes, experiments, but remember to use the vegetables. That's what counts. What other vegetables can we add to this?
You can still add the spinach.
Okay.
You can use kale.
Can I put carrots?
Yes.
You could
can
put
put
carrots as well.
Yes.
Okay, so
And you can shred kale inside it.
I am a ginger and garlic person. Would it be okay for me to include ginger and garlic in this sauce?
Yeah, you just fished out the hidden other things inside the pepper mix.
Ah, okay. Because I love ginger and garlic so much so that there's almost nothing I don't cook with
Yeah,
ginger
it's
and
very,
garlic.
very good. So-
Even noodles.
Yes.
I shouldn't say that, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
that's how much I
pepperness,
like it.
yes, yeah, it's
I'll
very
put
good.
powdered one and I'll put raw one. Like that's how much I love it. I put it in my stew, my rice, everything I make has ginger and garlic in it. Okay, so you're breaking the fish in it.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's going to be like a proper fish sauce. But how do we debone it? We'll take out the bone.
Just take out the bones.
Okay.
This one doesn't have those tiny bones. It's just this, the skeleton we are bringing out from it.
So the bone will definitely be chewable. So it's all right. Okay. All right. So this sauce is coming along
Almost,
quite
and
nice.
it's almost ready.
Almost ready. Okay.
And it can go with anything.
It goes
like
with yam.
rice,
Oh my God! Just
yam,
imagine having this sauce
potatoes,
with yam.
spaghetti,
Or boiled
or
potatoes.
noodles, or boiled potatoes.
Spaghetti.
It's actually a quick one, and it's so easy.
Imagination's
And you can pre-prepare it.
Hey.
You know, if you want to serve a larger number of people.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll keep putting breakfast together. Remember, after this, the only thing going in, the vegetables, first seasoning cubes, and then of course the bell pepper and the vegetables, and the food is ready. Really simple meal, something you can do for your family. I'm thinking sandwich. Yes, put it inside bread, toast it, and you're good to go. There are different ways you can experiment with food. And of course, we teach you many of such ways on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, the show continues. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It's time on Wake Up Nigeria for our SME discussion. And this morning we have Mr. David Shiweku. Now, he is the CEO of Grace Solar Limited, and this is a clean tech company offering sustainable solar power solutions. This is something we definitely need at this time in Nigeria, as we have been seeing so much information in the papers about issues with meters. A large percentage of people haven't got the correct meters and are waiting on meters. Some have been given secondhand, and then even then, the amount of power they're receiving on a daily basis is nowhere near what the average business or family or household needs to be as comfortable as possible. We have to say a big thank you to you for joining us this morning. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. So Grace Solar Limited, yes?
Yes.
So are you into the manufacture or distribution or importation of solar products?
Okay. Presently, at the moment, we are basically doing the sales, installation, and after-sales services.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you import the machines, batteries?
For now, we are buying from companies that are present, manufacturer in the company.
Okay.
Manufacturer companies are import.
Okay.
We buy from them presently. So we sell to our clients, we install, we do maintenances and after-sales services.
Okay, fantastic. How long ago did this begin?
This Grace Solar has been in existence, in operation since 2017. We started gradually, but now we have grown in terms of the scope of our client base, and we are doing great at the moment.
All right, so you know it takes a lot to go into a particular sector of business that isn't so common. As at 2017, it wasn't really that common for people to invest in this kind of business unless they had huge amounts of capital.
Yeah.
What was your end game? What was your goal as at that time?
Our end game, our end goal is to target the household, the businesses, SME, that are having challenges with power, with the poor state of the power in the country, epileptic power, to provide a alternative backup, which is cost-effective, efficient, so able to sustain their business and ensure and enjoy stable power for household. Okay,
I want to talk a little bit about how you've been running the business. What is your staff strength like? Okay,
presently we have the technical team, the admin team. We are between 12 to 15 at the moment, but we have several of them that are on contract that we contract, that work on contractual basis.
So has it been challenging, managing staff in this kind of industry? Because not everyone is experienced in this particular field. Do you have to train them yourself, or do you especially go after people that have been trained previously?
Presently, we are working on in-house training.
Okay.
But for now, we are working with experienced people that have one or little experience in the business, that can able to do a normal setup, a solar system, that have the prior experience. We're also working with some IT students from Polytechnic that that will join us now in our work. Presently, we have some people that are still interested in coming to learn. And
there are some maybe future customers that have not invested in maybe a solar system because they have doubts. Doubts on whether they can maybe sustain it or maintain it, and maybe doubts that they can afford it. So when you have customers like that, how do you convince them?
Yeah, we convince them based on our track record of what we have done, the project we have delivered, and we'll let them know that with improvement in technology, when you are dealing with a product that is backed up with warranty, you give them assurance that this has delivered over time, and the cost-benefit analysis, the cost benefit they will derive from it. That helps us to, in fact, most of our sales come from our referrals, because when we deliver a quality job for you, definitely going to refer us. That's what we believe in.
So the referrals, are they for mostly families or business owners?
Both business owners. In fact, we have installed from households, from individual house. We also install in their offices.
Okay.
We've installed for government institutions as well.
Okay.
And several. Yeah.
Okay, so everything has been rosy. We've been smiling so far in business, but we know that there are challenges with the type of business you do. What are the challenges you've come across, and how have you been able to surmount them?
Yeah, some of the challenges we encounter could be from client side, in which the electrical wiring, electrical work done prior to installation of the inverter is not well done. So in such a case, if you install inverter, you have experience where there is a returning current, some high voltage, and that's why we deal on a brand that is kind of withstand Nigerian power, fluctuating power situation. But we have an experience that where such power voltage and bad work on the electrical wire in the house somehow affected the system. But we make sure that our products are backed up with warranty.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're able to resolve and handle such challenges, such issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
The warranty you mentioned, how long does that warranty last for? Is it 3 months, 6 months, 1 year?
No, we give up to 2 years, up to 2 years warranty for the batteries,
Okay.
inverter 1 year, and solar panels 25 years warranty.
25 years?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know it was so long for a solar panel warranty. So, wow, that means you could actually keep one solar panel for well over 2 decades.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so I need to know a bit more about these panels that are so durable that they can last 25. So people don't usually call for maintenance of the panels, I'm believing.
We do. Basically, it's not servicing, it's just maintaining that, cleaning it. Like now we're in the dry season.
Okay.
Some areas are dusty, that the panels can accumulate dust.
Okay.
So like such a time like this, we can look at what is coming from the panel. Then we can decide to clean up the panels. We have staff that do that. We clean them up so that the cells that attract the sun rays will not be covered by the
Okay, so that's one factor. Sand, dust could reduce the amount of power being received by the cells. Okay. What about rainfall? Does it affect solar panels?
We try to use solar panels that are compatible with the weather, like Lagos weather. We have types of solar panel. We have the polycrystalline, we have the monocrystalline. The monocrystalline can charge even when it's raining, even when in a weather that is not, when the sun is not up there.
Okay.
All it needed is the daylight. With that daylight, it can start charging. So in that case, even when it's rain, you are still generating, you are still fine.
Okay, all right. So I need to hear one of your success stories, one of your clients and that you've worked with that keeps maybe sending referrals and coming back to you.
Yeah. Like we've installed for commercial partner is
Okay.
a financial institution in Lekki Phase 1.
Oh, okay.
Several of the staff we've installed for them, the MD, the CEO himself in
Wow.
Lekki Phase 1.
Okay.
We have clients that call us to thank us, to tell us that this is the best investment
Wow.
we've made so far in terms of having energy sufficiency. The beauty of coming back home, you're sure you are having steady light. You don't need to go and start your generator with the noise and everything. So it's quite great.
I'm actually really interested in more green solutions. I've always been, and I do what I can to talk about it as much as possible. And I'm really happy to have met you today, sir. And I know someone out there is making one or two decisions right now. Thank you so much for sharing.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
All right, at this point, we're going to be heading into the kitchen, and Mary and our chef are standing by for us. Okay.
Thank you, Chef Flora. So far, so good. And welcome to the kitchen. Okay, so today's breakfast is by Chef Flora. And she's made us rice with fish in broccoli
and
cauliflower sauce.
Oh.
Okay, so please dig in. We want to have your feedback, please.
Okay, thanks so much.
Please go ahead.
Go for the sauce, go for the sauce. Go for the sauce. Sauce is hot.
Oh, so what do you think?
Nice.
Amazing flavors.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. All courtesy Chef Flora.
Yep, it's been a wonderful Monday, World
did.
Freedom Day, World Bounty Day. So, yeah, this is also the land of the free and the home brave. Thank you for being a part of this show. We will see you tomorrow.
7 a.m.,
Bye-bye.
y'all. Bye.